talk about kids and being able to get them into schools that can actually perform for them, because too often we see Illinois' report card and it's not pretty. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And now let's check in with Illinois Policy Institute's Amy Korte, joining us on WMAY to talk about the Invest in Kids Scholarship Program, a measure that was enhanced just recently with new legislation. So, Amy, thanks for taking time with us this morning. How you doing?
Hi, good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So break this down for us, the Invest in Kids Scholarship Program. When did this start, and what's ultimately the main goal here?
It was passed in 2017, and the goal is to give lower-income Illinoisans the same opportunities to educate their kids for their unique needs as more affluent Illinoisans have. It provides tax credit scholarships for kids from families that make no more than 300% of the federal poverty level. So it's aimed at families on the lower income end of the spectrum, and it lets them it gives them money to spend at qualified non-public schools. So if their local public school isn't meeting their needs, they can take that money and find a school that is a better fit for them and their families. And this program offers donors 75 cents tax credit against their state income tax liability for every dollar they give to the program. And it has been operating to great success. There are over 9,000 Illinois kids in this program last year for grades K through 12, and there were thousands on the wait list. So this program is in great demand, but unfortunately it is set to expire at the end of 2023. So the legislation that was just signed is good. It enhances the program, like you said, and it definitely gives some needed improvements to the program. But at the end of the day, the program needs to be extended. It should be made permanent, or its life extended for at least another 10 years.
You know, we saw some of the recent report card numbers from districts all across the state, and it's not pretty. It shows that amongst various ethnicities, students are not performing at the rate they should be when it comes to math and reading. Science, they're doing a little bit better, but they're still graduating at high rates, but they're not performing at the level that you would expect, while at the same time, and this is all public school data, at the same time, teachers are being rated very high by the Illinois State Board of Education, and the cost per student for public education continues to increase as well. Talk about, I guess, how this Invest in Kids Scholarship Program can actually get some of those low-income families some real school choice to get out of some of these underperforming public schools.
Yeah, well, this program lets families apply through scholarship granting organizations for scholarships to schools of their choice. So they can take that money and go to any qualified non-public school. So a parochial school that might meet their needs, or a different private school. It could be religious. It could be not religious. There's very, very wide range of non-public schools that qualify in this program. And if parents feel that their local public school isn't performing and their kids aren't getting the education they need, they can take that money. And so it gives these families choice that more affluent Illinoisans have always had. People with resources can move to a district that they feel performs better, or they can put their kids in private school and pay the tuition. But lower income families have never had those same choices. And this Invest in Kids Tax Credit Scholarship Program gives those lower income Illinoisans the same choice to improve the education of their kids, to offer them what they need that all Illinoisans should enjoy. And I would say that the legislation that Governor Pritzker signed into law on Friday would give kids who are currently in the program super priority when they apply for scholarship for the following year. So it bumps them up to the head of the line so they can have more assurance that their education can continue in their best fit school that their families have chosen for them. And then it also gives schools a little more flexibility in offering more partial scholarships so they can make their scholarship money go farther. So those are good improvements to the program. But like I said, it's on course to expire at the end of 2023. And thousands of families are benefiting from it now. And many, many thousands more are on the wait list. want a chance to send their kids to those schools that they think is the best fit for their children.
Amy Korte joins us. She is with the Illinois Policy Institute talking about the Invest in Kids scholarship program that gives a tax credit of up to 75 cents per dollar donated to this program. Amy, there have been rumblings in the past that this program would be cut, that maybe the tax credit amount may be reduced. What other possible threats to the program still exist despite what was signed Friday?
Well, you're right. Governor Pritzker actually proposed cutting the program as part of his budget proposal this past in 2021. And that proposal was defeated. The General Assembly ultimately funded it to the full extent of $75 million of tax credits, which actually puts $100 million into the program. Now, that full amount hasn't necessarily been reached, but that's the upper limit. And the governor had proposed moving that upper limit down. So that proposal did not fly, fortunately, for all these kids in the program. But the other threats to the program, I think, to be able to grow and expand and meet the real demand that is out there, the program needs to be strengthened, and investors need to be assured that it's going to be around for the long haul. So like I said, making it permanent or at least extending the sunset by 10 years or so would allow donors to know that this program is going to be around for these kids. And then right now, individuals can designate a particular school or a particular school system as the recipients of their donors, but business donors can't do that. And that would be good if the General Assembly could pass something that would allow businesses to designate a particular school as their donation recipients. That would make it more attractive to business donors. And then also right now, it covers kids in schools from K through 12, but it would be a better program if it also expanded to pre-kindergarten. There are a lot of families who need that preschool education and care for their kids, and expanding it to pre-K would give those parents more flexibility. And, a lot of schools actually do start at the 3 and 4-year-old level now, not just at the kindergarten level. So that would be a good improvement. And then finally, right now, it's only creditable to the extent of 75% of a donor's donation. But if you took that 25% that now is not creditable or deductible, and you could at least make that 25% deductible from your federal income tax liability, that would be great. Or, make it fully creditable against state income taxes. That would be good. So that would make the program more attractive and more donors could participate. Right now, a lot of donors just can't afford to give more than they do, but that would allow people to participate more fully and really fully fund that program so that many of those thousands of kids on the wait list could be bumped up and get a chance at a scholarship.
Well, we'll definitely be watching that closely and also watching the outcomes. It's always good to see how a student excels elsewhere if they are able to get the scholarship and take part in the Invest in Kids scholarship program that was enhanced by legislation signed Friday. Amy Korte is the vice president with the Illinois Policy Institute. She's with us here on WMAY. And Amy, I imagine we'll talk about this again in the near future. Greatly appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks so much for having me.
It is Springfield's Morning News here on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news.